What's up everyone, it's Mike Dowdy here with the Wake Channel, and today I'm bringing you your newest video, how to ride in rough water. When we talk about rough water riding, there's three main types of rough water you're going to need to consider as a rider. Number one, we're always going to have wind. Number two, we're talking about rollers. And number three, on unfortunate circumstances, you will have rollers and wind. So today's video is going to start with wind. When we talk about wind, there's three main directions of wind that we're going to be concerned with. Number one is headwind. Anytime we're going into a headwind, it's going to cause us to go a bit slower. The line is going to tend to be a bit tighter in the middle of our tricks. Oftentimes we'll find that we case the wake because we don't edge all the way through the wake. A couple strategies to do this is making sure you break your riding down into the fundamentals. Focus on maintaining your line tension, focus on edging through the wake, and making sure you're paying attention to your course and which way the wind is affecting you. So for example, if you have a headwind, try focusing on not cutting harder, but making sure you set your edge through the wake longer. The second direction of wind we're talking about is tailwind. Tailwind is going to come anytime that the wind is at your back. This is going to make you as a rider move faster than you would on flat water or on a headwind. And it's also going to make the wake a bit flatter when you hit it. When you're cutting into the wake, you're going to want to make sure you maintain that edge through the wake, make sure you maintain that line tension, because the wind is going to be pushing you closer to the boat, so you're likely to lose your line tension if you're not paying attention to that, and also that's going to cause you to case the wake as well. So the last wind direction we're going to talk about is crosswind, and crosswind is any time that the wind is coming at you from a side angle. The crosswind tends to be a bit tricky because anytime you're cutting into the wake with a crosswind, toe side might be different than heel side, and heel side might be different than toe side. The reason being is that the wind coming at you, you might need to cut harder one way, where one way you might need to cut slower. So that crosswind can become a bit difficult to manage. Alright, the next rough water we're going to talk about is rollers. So rollers can happen from a plethora of different circumstances. The most common ones are going to be seawalls or other boats and things like that. If you're in a public lake, you're going to have to deal with a lot of boat traffic, so oftentimes you'll find yourself potentially riding in very, very choppy water. So the thing about choppy, rolly water is that when it's smooth but rolly, there's always going to be a dip point in the roller. If you imagine the roller going up and then coming down, there's always going to be that dip point. So your goal as a rider is going to be to time when you hit the wake with when that roller is connecting with the wake as well. Alright, so in the unfortunate circumstance that you're dealing with rollers and wind, but you still really want to get out there and practice, I want you guys to take the exact same approach as you would with rolly water, with windy water, and break it down to things that you can control. Ultimately, your edge into the wake, keeping your edge through the wake, maintaining that line tension. All those different things are things you as riders can control, and so when you're dealing with adverse conditions, keep in mind the different things that we talked about. You know, when you're riding into a headwind, making sure that you're setting that edge through the wake longer. If you're in a tailwind, making sure that you're keeping those shoulders away from the boat. If you're riding in rollers, time the timing that you're hitting the wake to be at the peak of the roller. And if it just happens to be too rough where you can't focus on all those things, break it back down to the things that you can directly control, which is going to be your edge speed, your pop, and your line tension. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. In conclusion, we covered everything from headwind, tailwind, crosswinds, rollers, and all those things combined. I hope you guys found this video useful. I'm your host, Mike Dowdy. I'm here with the Wake Channel. Follow us on all platforms, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the water.